Hey everybody, we're back here at Convincing Idiots. I'm Nick along with Dean and Brian, and so far we've been discussing some of our, I shouldn't say some of our one of our main favorite thing about 2020 being The Mandalorian. We kind of talked about that, talked about the things that we liked and how well they've done, and just kind of pretty much gushed over how fantastic it's been and how happy it's made a lot of Star Wars fans. So aside from The Mandalorian, have you guys been watching anything else this year, or whether it be movies or TV or anything else? I mean, floor's open. Anything else you guys have really liked this year?
One thing for me, this was a few months ago, and this was all the rage on Netflix at the time when the pandemic was heating up, and it was a super terrific distraction from all things terrible and all things normal. But I got into the Tiger King.
Yeah. Oh God, year. That was this year. I forgot.
Yes, and if you have not seen, Dean, did you see the Tiger King?
We turned it on and we both fell asleep like within the first episode and literally slept. We woke up like the last episode or something like that.
Wait, no, that's a lie. Your Netflix checks in on you if you are not active on it for like 2 hours.
Okay, well, I don't know how long, but all I know is it was still playing, and we woke up periodically. Maybe we kept hitting,
blame it on Netflix like you missed it.
But no, we missed it because we fell asleep. I know periodically I woke up and some dudes were getting married, and I wasn't sure what was going on.
Yeah, one of the strangest, ridiculous things that you ever will see in your life. So.
I've watched Wookiee porn.
Yeah, and, I mean, you worry about the animals and you worry about the literal cult atmosphere that some of these young girls get swept into and stuff, and some of this stuff. It's just really bizarre. So, yeah, that was definitely something that I enjoyed earlier in the year, and. We talked about this on our last episode too, and Nick. I know you and I watched it, The Last Dance.
Oh yeah.
The Chicago Bulls documentary, extremely well done on ESPN. Yeah. I mean,
I didn't watch that either.
Yeah, it's on Netflix as well. If you're a remote Michael Jordan and/or Bulls fan, the fact that you get really into his psyche and stuff, and what he did to try to keep himself pumped up and motivated. And Jordan has some really intimate moments throughout the documentary as well, where things kind of hit him. And
when he breaks down a couple times talking about things, and I mean, it really it does, because I mean, some of, like you said, some of the things that he did, I mean, it's borderline insane. It's borderline insanity. The scenarios that he would create in his head that someone had disrespected him and things that didn't even happen, just to give himself that extra push to embarrass this guy. That when the moment was big and the stakes were high and it was an important game. I mean, it's insane.
So he was crazy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right.
But shit. I mean, that actually, pound for pound of the content I've consumed this year, that is my favorite. Yeah, that's my favorite thing I've seen.
Yeah, I ate that up. And actually, I have a similar ritual for this show with you guys. It's a long story. I imagine you guys talking about my daughter and Allie and my mother.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really...
You went that far.
It gets pretty bad. We'll talk about it maybe when I see you guys next.
No wonder he just stares at us with disdain.
Yeah. That also explains why he screams at us in pre-show prep. And why he's so prepared all the time.
Right.
Because he's trying to make us better. He's trying to bring us up to his level.
That's right.
Man, that makes a lot of sense now.
That's right.
It's not working. Right. It's not working at all.
Well, better? Even Horace Grant had to move on. I mean, it couldn't. That's right. It can only be one Scottie Pippen, Dean. I'm sorry, but.
Yep.
I'm Horace Grant.
I also wrote down the Cobra Kai series. I know season 2 came out this year.
Okay.
So
now, I have not seen that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And
have you at least seen season 1? Or you haven't seen any of
I've
it?
seen nothing. I've never even seen a full
man.
Karate Kid movie, so no.
Oh, okay. Well, then
Yeah.
you probably won't get much out of the series.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if it's something you're going to consider, Nick, go back and watch the original, at least the first one. Watch the original Karate Kid from '84 or '5.
I've seen a lot of it. I just don't know I've ever.
For season 3, you're gonna want to see Karate Kid Part 2. I've seen the previews. Have you seen the previews for the third season?
Yes. Yeah.
Where he goes back to Okinawa.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna want to at least see episode or part 2.
Okinawa's that island in Samoa.
Yes, son of a bitch. I believe so. I believe that's right.
It is the Samoa Island, I think. That's what they call it.
Your geography is as good as your hairline.
But the show's well done. I think I know Dean and I have talked about it off camera. So the show is well done. And actually, it does carry on the storyline very nicely. Well acted. Again, a lot of good storylines as far as changing your ways and
because
there's a lot of good
the bad guy.
That's
Normally, they would do that, and they would continue. Whoever the bad guy is in the movie is going to be the bad guy for the series or the sequel. The bad guy grows up and kind of wants to change and tries to be a better person, and it's fantastic.
And then I love the fact that he's probably the extra appeal for me is he's clearly an '80s kid who's growing up.
Yes.
And he wears like he's got the retro shirts and the old band references and stuff like that. He's bad with technology. It's he was fun.
He was a karate champion. He kicked Daniel's ass a lot and a lot of people's asses. And then he grows up and he's still driving a Trans Am. He's still wearing the retro shirts. They're probably aren't retro, that he probably still has. Listening to anything he's putting in the tape deck in his car is the 80s. So pretty much he's Brian. Johnny Lawrence is Brian, but less dangerous.
Less dangerous. That's correct.
For sure.
That's correct.
Yeah.
A couple of things I got. It was the Ozark season 3, also on Netflix. Jason,
I've never watched it. Everybody says how amazing
that's on my list. Like I think that's going to be our next one we binge watch.
Yes, 100%. If very dark humor, but it's more of a drama than I tell you what. It's if you don't like shows that you feel like on edge because it's like the characters are in constant like danger, you won't like it. But if you like that sort of thing, I mean, to me, I watch that show, I get anxiety. I'm living through Jason Bateman and
but it's got like humor to it, like dark humor to it.
There's some dark humor to it, absolutely. But
so like Passion of the Christ.
Right, kind of like Passion of the Christ. He worked it back.
He did it.
Very good.
He did it.
Another highlight of 2020 was Passion of the Christ jokes.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Thanks for pissing one of our Christian listeners off. Now we're down to 2 listeners. Thanks.
But the season finale's next year for Ozark. But yeah, go back and watch. I guarantee if you get through the first episode and that's it. You're gonna love it or hate it.
It hooks you after one.
Yeah.
See, that actually gets me excited because a lot of the stuff we've watched that's been you have to get through like 4 or 5 episodes.
No, that
we just watched Ratched, the prequel to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest,
right?
Based upon the nurse.
The nurse,
and it's not a great series, but we got through 4 episodes. It's an 8-episode season, so you got through 4, and you're like, it's not great, but I've invested, this much time. Might as well see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of gets better, through the second half. But it's not great, but we watched it. That's one thing we watched this year.
That's what. That's actually strange. That's the almost every review that we get.
That's right.
Very similar.
Gotta
it's
get
not
through.
great, but we watched it.
You got to get through the first 8 episodes. They've only done like 7. Yeah, I know. We're still waiting for it to get good, but I feel like it's building towards something.
Well, they got to find out where the sexual tension leads.
Right. You have to see how it plays out. We all get back together.
Hormones flying everywhere in every direction from all 3 different guys every different way.
Mm-hmm. One of the main comments that I keep reading is this podcast smells like sex.
Is that because you keep writing it in the...
Yeah, stop the self-comments. God, it's so weird.
I apologize.
I also I don't know if you saw the documentary. Netflix had a lot of good content this year. So High Score, which is the a history of video games.
Ooh, I don't even know about that. That sounds
Yes.
right
Me
up my
neither.
alley.
What is that?
Go check. That is on Netflix. High Score.
Okay.
So it interviews the guy who created Pac-Man, the guy who started Space Invaders, the guy who founded Atari. Very interesting.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. So just if you're, I know you guys like video
High
games.
Score?
High Score. Go check that out on
I'll
Netflix.
definitely check that out.
And I don't know if you guys saw or not the I think it's FX. What We Do in the Shadows. Have you seen that? The vampire comedy.
Yes.
So I've been told to watch this by Robin. She thinks it's awful, but she knows people who think it's hilarious. And she wants me. I've still never seen an episode, but I'm curious to see where I'll find it, because we definitely have different senses of humor. We meet in the middle on a lot of things, but there's a lot of like ridiculous, over the top things that I find funny. That's just not. She doesn't like that stuff at all. So I'm not sure what it is. I've never seen it, so I don't know.
A lot of people had told me about it, and then one night I couldn't sleep. So it was actually when I was quarantined with the COVID there, and so I didn't have to be at work the next day, so couldn't sleep. So I was like, well, why not? I'll flip it on. I ended up binge watching the whole season, and it's not great. It's funny, and I guess you have to be in a certain state of mind to watch it. I'm really contradicting myself, because it was good, but it wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't the best. Like, there's some stuff they were like, okay, enough. You know, I get the joke, but they keep doing it. But there's a lot of the quick one-liners, are really funny in it.
So
the premise is funny.
You understand what it's about now, Nick? I'm kidding. No, the premise, Nick, is it's vampires. They're ancient vampires. They're immortal.
Okay.
And they're living in modern times, and they're trying to adapt. And they know that they maintain mortals around them to help take care of them. Just the normal care, I guess, of vampires need, with the promise that they'll become immortal too. And so they clean the house, and then they ward off other. They just try to keep them safe and stuff like that. They try to and they're trying to learn current technology,
and they're really dumb.
And it's pretty
all the
funny.
Vampires are stupid. Like, I mean, they're morons. Like, they think they're really smart and suave and sophisticated, but in reality, they're morons.
Okay.
And that's where the humor is, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
I would suggest watching it. Yeah.
I'd like to check an episode out just to see what the vibe is, like what it's like.
One of the best scenes, though, in it, real quick before we move on, is there is a council of vampires, and they bring back Wesley Snipes. They bring back any vampire from any movie. They've got this in one scene has a cameo in it where they're all and there's a bunch of vampires from different movies, different TV shows, and whatnot.
Like the actual actors are in it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is Tom Cruise in it?
No, no.
Okay.
But Tilda Swinton. Tilda Swinton, I believe is her name. But she's like the head, the head vampire in the council. But it's fun.
Okay. Yeah.
Good stuff there. For me personally, have you guys seen The Boys on Amazon Prime?
It's another one I've heard good things about. About the superheroes.
I don't have Amazon Prime, but yeah, I've heard good things too.
Yeah, so season 2 launched this year, and it's a very dark and disturbing take on superheroes. So these guys are actual superheroes, but it turns out they are actually working for a company who, and everybody's in on it. So it's like they're using their powers to exploit things and to remain in power and make money for the company and all this stuff. It's very dark stuff. So it's a very interesting take on people with superpowers. There's still some good people who, but there's, and then on the side of it, there's a whole group that is out to try to kill these heroes as well, because they just know what they stand for, and they think it's all garbage, and
so wouldn't those guys be the good? So those guys are the good guys.
Yeah, that's an interesting kind of twist here, where it's like these guys are in a way the good guys in the storyline. So yeah, a very very just very dark stuff here. And again, some dark humor a little bit too, but yeah, good stuff. So if you have Amazon Prime, definitely check out The Boys. Seasons 1 and 2 that launched. Season 1 was last year. Season 2 came out in 2020. So
yeah, I know it's been around for it wasn't new, but
right,
relatively new. Yeah, you were mentioning Netflix content. Did either one of you gentlemen happen to catch Too Hot to Handle?
No, I did not see that. What is that?
It was shortly after Tiger King. It was a big deal right after Tiger King was over, and people were looking for the next dumpster fire, and that was it. It was basically this island where they found all the hottest 20-something-year-olds they could find. Their Instagram models and things like that, and just basically all of them have the same background story. They show up to this island. All they can do when they're on their profiles and talking about themselves is brag about how hot they are, how many followers they have, and how many people they sleep with all the time, and how easy it is for them.
Netflix or on Fox?
That is Netflix.
Because it definitely sounds like something Fox would put on during the summer.
Yeah, right. And it was very reminiscent of something like that. The fun thing was they all go to this island and they think, oh my God, we're all going to just, hook up like crazy. And the thing is, there's a set amount of money that is undetermined that they all get at the end of this if they follow the rules on the island. And the rules on the island is you are not allowed to touch one another basically at all. You can't flirt, or you can flirt, but you can't. There's no soft petting. There's no kissing, no touching of any sort. Oh, and also you can't even masturbate.
All three of us will be kicked off of this podcast.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting.
Those were the rules.
And actually went into it, expecting to see just what a wreck that these people were and how ridiculous this was. And, there's definitely a lot of that. It's a lot of the garbage TV. But also the catch at the end is there are some people that actually, for the first time, learn to form a relationship with one another, because for the first time, they're not just trying to get laid. They actually like this person. They find out they like this person. That was kind of a cool twist on it. The fact that they're in maybe one or two relationships, there was actually, you could see that someone was experiencing growth. But there was a lot of people that
were they the ugliest of the bunch?
Losing money. No, they were not. No.
Oh, okay.
No, they were not. Yeah, that was pretty interesting. But yeah, it was, like I said, went into it just wanting to see a total, just garbage show. And a lot of it was, and it was funny. It's very comical how, some of these people think and act and stuff like that. And just, it's a parade of douche. I mean, it's just, girl and boy douche just all across the screen. But it was entertaining. I enjoyed that. I don't know that I would recommend it for either one of you, to be honest, but just for anybody listening, I know for a fact Dean would hate it, all of it,
right?
Every second of it. There's nothing you would like about it.
It would just make me angry, more angry as I'm watching it. Yeah.
You would just be you wouldn't understand what any of the or what
arms would come up,
what music they listen to, or why they dress like that, or what it's.
That's why the other day, commercial came up for the Grammys. And I'd said to Megan, I said, if there's one show that makes me feel old, it's watching the Grammys, because I don't know anybody that's on there.
I don't think I've ever watched every single time I've watched a show with Dean, that involves a musical performance, whether it's Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve, or Saturday Night Live, or anything, or a late night show with a musical guest, the reaction is always the same. Is this person famous? Who is this? What is this? It could be the most popular song of the last 2 years, and he's never heard it, and he doesn't know who they are.
I'm that guy
and he's
now.
upset. He's upset that he's hearing it now. He doesn't like it.
Well, it wouldn't be so bad if they weren't so shitty. But like every time I watch it, everything we watch like that, it's really shitty music. So I mean, it's not exactly like I'm upset about the good music I'm watching. No, I'm upset because these people are famous for being really shitty musicians, and that's being generous to call them musicians.
You know what was good music? Wham! That was what good music.
That's right.
George
Kenny
Michael.
fucking Rogers.
That man can sing. Damn kids.
Whatever happened to Creedence Clearwater Revival? That's what I want to know.
That's right.
I just got a record player for Christmas, right? And the record player that was, or the record that was purchased along with the record player for me was Frank Sinatra's Christmas album.
That's a good one.
It was fantastic.
Yep.
That is an interesting. So I think we talked about TV. Any other TV shows, and we'll get into other stuff.
I've got one that I would be remiss if I did not bring up. It is not new to 2020, but is definitely my 2020 discovery that I don't know why it took me so long to get on board with it. But Schitt's Creek is now on Netflix. Great Canadian show, just hilarious, well done, just brilliant, very funny, very very funny.
On my list on Netflix,
Letterkenny dropped. Letterkenny dropped on Hulu on Christmas Day.
Oh yeah.
I've yet to watch the newest season, but it's coming.
Yeah.
Okay, so going back to record players for a minute. Now, this seems to be I don't know if it's a 2020 thing necessarily, but it seems to be getting more of a resurgence in 2020.
Past about a few years.
Yeah.
I mean, it started
all the artists are putting them out.
Yeah, I would go to the exchange, and there'd be bins in the back that had records, and they were all like a couple bucks. Now people don't go there to buy CDs anymore. They go there to buy records. They go to buy the vinyl.
And I just went to the store, and the first record I got for my record player was the White Stripes Greatest Hits.
Okay.
And it was like $35.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
But it's a double. There's two vinyls to it.
Still, that's ridiculous.
Well, remember what CDs cost back in the day? They weren't much cheaper.
$10.
I mean, at FYE they were like $21.99 a piece.
And do you remember?
Now that's why you don't go there. But
right, but remember, if you got the double CD, it was probably in the
25-30 bucks.
Yeah.
Yep. I have a vinyl behind me of an album that just came out this year. It's a it's a recent 2020 album. It came out in like October, and they put out a vinyl, and I bought the CD version of it too, because that's where I'm becoming an old man. Like, I'm not I mean, granted, I don't buy CDs at a rapid pace anymore, but of certain bands that I have all their albums, I like to have it in the collection. I need a physical copy.
That actually tells you just how old you are, because as I will be 40 here in a couple days, and I even know that kids don't even buy CDs anymore. It's all
well, you don't have to.
It's all streaming.
Yeah. Right. So just
I have Apple
CDs
Music
alone. Shows you how old you're getting.
Yeah.
I'm with
the day
you, Nick.
something comes out, it's there.
Yeah, I'm with you, Nick. I have Apple Music. I've never looked back.
Yep. Right.
I've not had any interest to buy anything else.
He's well into his
anything
70s.
You want.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. It's just like it's like stuff that my generation grew up with. That's like, this is okay, but we have something better. Let's make it better. Let's get to tapes and then CDs and then streaming, and like this is pretty nice. And then it's interesting. The younger people's like, hey, let's go back to some of the crappier ways to listen to music, because I mean there is romance to it. Yeah, I
was going to say
cool, and the artwork and all that's wonderful and great. It does intrigue me to go back and listen, but there's a reason why we moved away from it.
Right. Well,
I don't know.
Quick story.
Anyway, Anyway,
so when I went the other day to buy the vinyl album of the White Stripes, so I'm at the checkout and I realize that I'm buying a vinyl album, flavored coffee, and a fedora hat. This was my purchase.
That's a very millennial purchase.
And at
Not the fedora.
and at the end of Rise of Skywalker, when Rey's laying there, and you hear all the past Jedis give her encouragement and whisper stuff in the ear.
Yep.
I run my card in the machine, and all I hear is all my friends throughout time and history just saying, douche, douche, douche.
Buddy,
douche.
No, that's us all the time. We say it's not. It's happening. We just say it. You just ignore us.
I had my phone on speakerphone, and you two were doing it. I thought it was just in my head.
We've talked about this. Stop being a douche. Quit it. Put the fedora down.
So, Nick, it was a millennial purchase other than the fedora. So the fedora made it a zennial purchase? Is that what you're saying?
Fedora has not been a popular item in a long
time. And it was wool,
I was
too.
Probably when I was towards the end of high school, it was still kind of a thing, but
it's a beautiful hat.
I'm not seeing many kids wearing fedoras. I think that had its minute in the sun and it went away to die.
Yeah, it's a beautiful hat.
Yeah.
Is it like a pork pie hat, or what is it? What do you got there?
I don't have a Darkwing Duck hat.
Yeah, little bit. Yeah. Like they would wear in like the 50s. You know, that fedora, you know, when every guy had an overcoat and the fedora hat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's my third one. I have a few of them. So it's wasn't a new purchase. This one just happened to be a wool one that would be more proper in the winter. Yeah.
Okay.
Eat shit, Nicholas. Eat shit.
All right, so before we take another break to get to our last segment here, any other? Now so the content we focused on is pretty much TV. Not a lot of movies came out.
No,
a couple movies came out. I streamed like the Bill and Ted movie. I told
how was that?
You know what? If your expectations are I'm going to watch a Bill and Ted movie,
sure,
perfectly great.
Good.
You know, we paid $20 to watch it. It was a summer evening. We sat outside and watched it on the front porch. We set up a thing, and that was a nice, carefree movie. Would I have wanted to pay full price at the theater? No. Right. And we also talked. I watched the Wonder Woman movie on HBO Max, and
what did you think? I heard a lot of mixed kind of what you're doing right now was basically the reviews I kind of heard.
A lot of great effects. I still love Gal Gadot in that role.
Yeah, of course.
But it's just, I don't know, too much happening.
Yeah.
Too much happening. And actually in that universe, I mean, if it's some type of citywide catastrophe or something like that, okay, great. But yeah, this goes into a global wide issue. And in that universe, one could make the argument of, where the hell is everybody else?
Right. Everybody should know about it.
If something that big happened, Superman and Batman, everybody else would have been involved. That's some of the things that are kind of.
But wasn't this supposed to be in 1984?
Yeah, but Superman would have been around. I don't know.
In this present day,
I don't want to go up
deal. Superman would have been, I don't know, a kid.
What? Oh,
yeah.
Okay, I don't want to derail this.
In this present, okay,
I see what you mean. If you
do today's timeline,
okay, fine. Maybe that's what they were saying.
If you're using the Justice League timeline, Bruce Wayne would have been probably a teenager, and Clark Kent would have been a kid in Smallville.
All right, fair enough. But the
did I just make you love the movie?
No. No, the effects were great. The storyline was kind of strange. She's good in the role. Not it, but
she showed nipple.
No.
I'm out.
But anyhow, as far as great, it was decent. I'm glad I saw it on HBO Max and all that stuff. So
yeah,
there was no other big superhero movies that came out this year, and it was.
Does it make for the good for the next two? I guess they're doing 2 more for HBO Max, 2 more DC Universe movies. Does it lend itself to like progressing the universe? I guess.
Honestly, you could pick up a story with her, and you don't have to even refer to this one. To be honest, really.
Okay.
I mean,
it's The Last Jedi.
She's great.
Right.
I love her. I love her in the role. So, anyways, forget all that. So it's okay. It's fine. Check it on HBO Max, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend spending full price at the theater to go see it and risking catching the virus to go check it out in a theater. Frankly,
Yeah.
But anything else?
Any
other content or anything at all, guys? Before we take a break?
Didn't watch a lot of movies, but coming from the Kids Corner movies, that's pretty much I'm watching children's movies. That's pretty much what I see. So, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie was better than I expected it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Soul that came out on Christmas Day is fantastic. That was very good. Soul, Disney.
Was it good?
Oh yes,
Soul.
I've heard good things about that.
I think we're gonna watch that.
Very Inside Out-esque. If you ever saw that, it's a lot.
Yes.
It reminded me a lot of that. Really well done. Really like that.
Good.
Yeah, but the Sonic the Hedgehog, I'm with you. It was a lot better than I thought. That was actually the last. That was the last movie Carter and I saw in the theater. Was Sonic.
Yep.
It was good.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It wasn't great. Did you watch it?
No.
It wasn't great, but it's kind of like Bill and Ted's. If you're expecting to see a live action Sonic the Hedgehog movie, if you know what you're walking into, it's good.
You're not going to sit down. Let's put it this way: you shouldn't sit down after something like that and be like, storyline was a little weak. It's a fucking Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Like, come on. I mean, it's based on a children's video game, and but I liked it. And I like the end it sets up for a second one, which is really cool. And one of my favorite characters is referenced in there, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And Jim Carrey was good. It brought you back to good old form Jim Carrey with the over exaggerated faces,
ridiculous. Yeah.
The ridiculous voice. Come on, let's get Lightbeard. Come on, there we thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Once again, if you like Sonic the Hedgehog, the game, and you know what you're walking into, it's just fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I like
Very
that.
good. All right, so we'll take a break, and then we'll come back and talk about. So we talked about content and hobbies and a couple different things. So
you guys have a. Well, when we come back, are we doing what we see for our future, maybe?
Yeah, what are some things that changed this year that we think could be more the norm in 2021 and even going forward?
This podcast has stayed pleasantly afloat, but it's going to crash and burn like we all knew it would, I think, next year.
Man, jeez. Wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, you're bringing me down.
We all know.
Yeah.
We all know what's happened.
Yeah, so think about that, then we'll come back.
Just stick around for just Brian and Dean podcast, I guess.
Yeah, we have an opening for a millennial who really believes in what we're doing here.
Yeah, we never follow through. Good luck. Yeah.
All right, we'll be back in a minute.
I was mesmerized. He flipped it on. I'm mesmerized because he got real close to hit record, and I got a real good look at that hair, the flowing lock. No, go down. I want to see those locks there. Yeah, that's what I need.
I thought you said mesmerized, and I was like, is that when you're mesmerized by Brian?
I like it is now.
Mesmerized. Mesmerized.
There's something there.
I like that.
Yep, there definitely is.